Friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is boycotting China's products. This topic I have selected because of the information gap in the media, the efforts of the government, the jingoism prevailing, and the patriotism. All of a sudden, it has uh, come in the minds of the public and how it should be dealt with. People are at crossroads. What to do, what not to do. They have no clue about uh, what should be done. Now, in the next few minutes, we will discuss the topic uh, which contains the following. Should we ban China products? Or should we boycott China products? Or government should ban the China products? What it means to India and China in the long run and short run. Next, is this ban feasible? Is this boycotting feasible? If so, what is the strategy to be followed? What is our role as citizens? Okay, now let us discuss the issue one by one. Now, the immediate point coming to the mind of public, because most of us are using electronic gadgets like China, electronic gadgets like mobile phones, laptops, etc. Because our market is flooded with Chinese goods, and most of us are buying them for the lure of this economic pricing, competitive pricing rather. Now, first, I would like to make it very clear that this ban does not mean that we should stop using Chinese products, which we have already acquired, because the profit has already gone to China. It is our hard-earned money. Please keep them. Please use them. Only thing is, when you make next time purchase, you try to go for a local brand. Vocal for local is the slogan of the government of India. Now, let us understand the reason for over dependence. Why we are over dependent on China? In India, there is a weakness among leaders and also public because of the foreign rule for so many centuries. We look for acceptance from somebody. We feel that we are not very great. We are not great at all. Others are great. Whatever foreign, labeled foreign is great. But India has a very great potentiality which is not being tapped for the lack of proper leadership and which should be channelized. Now, even our Modi, so-called 56-inch Wala Modi, invited SARC leaders for his swearing-in ceremony and tried to get their approval. While we should leave the strategy, military strategy, strategic and military response to China, to the armed forces, on the ground level, we have to fight with China by hitting the economic interests. This we have to do. We have to do. When soldiers are fighting for the cause of India, we cannot say that we cannot ask them to suffer on the borders while we enjoying the cozy products at competitive rates from foreigners. First thing to be done is damage the interests of our enemy. As a citizen, we can supplement the warfare by economic warfare from outside. India being a democratic country, there is no death for critics who always predict doom, and citizens should not be frightened by such things. But the ground reality is that we are dependent on China. 2% of the Chinese exports are going to India, and our dependence on China in respect of various industries like automobile, pharma, and electronics is tremendous. We will go to the statistics a little later. First of all, let us understand raw numbers. China is collecting approximately 50 billion US dollars. Each billion dollar is equivalent to 7,500 crores of Indian rupees. Thus, there is a loss of 3.75 lakh crores annually by exporting to India than importing from it. That is, there is a unfavorable balance of trade. We are exporting raw material and importing finished goods. In some case, we are importing basic raw material also from them. Thus, we have a unfavorable balance of trade, deficit balance of trade with China, and our contribution is approximately $50 billion. Now, this, if we understand this properly, we are not equal trade partners. China is a bigger partner and we are a junior partner. We are giving more to China than getting more from it. That means our foreign currency is going. Let us understand the reasons. This is because China's government has given subsidies, provided wonderful infrastructure, developed very good capacities to get foreign exchange reserves, to increase its foreign exchange reserves. And it also wants to increase the dependency of the entire world on China so that it can win them in due course because of its expansionism. It's better we take little harm. We may be suffering initially by boycotting. Better we take a little more harm and then we will get rid of this problem in future. Now, we are not equal trade partners, as I already said. The benefit is approximately in the ratio of 1:7. We are no better than drug addicts. Can we say simply because somebody is supplying a drug at a lower rate, we can get addicted to it? No. If these goods are boycotted and Indian products used instead, it will come to imports by 1 lakh crores, over 13 billions by December next year. Over $13 billion December next year. 1 lakh crores. 1 lakh crores is almost the budget of a state like Andhra Pradesh or Tamil Nadu. Of course, our budget is slightly higher than 1.5 lakh crores are. But in real terms, it comes to 1 lakh crores. Various tariff and non-tariff measures will help, will enable this to happen. What it means to India? Suppose we boycott Chinese products. How it is going to affect India? India may suffer initially for want of critical inputs in automobile, electronics and pharma sectors. Our traders and hawkers who sell cheap imported goods from China, like LED bulbs, fairy lights, decorating lamps, which are idols for used during festivals, agarbattis, etc. 80% of the agarbattis used in our India are imported from China. This is a very pathetic situation. Now, let us see the trade details with China during 2018-19. Exports $70.3 billion, imports $16.7 billion, trade deficit $53.6 billion. This is very whopping sum, very high amount. It needs to be acknowledged that India's exports to India by China is only 2%. And there are people who say that it's only 2%, it's hardly going to affect China. But don't think like that. We are, at the end of the day, we are a very big market for the China. That is why they have retraced the steps. They have tried to threaten and they have retraced. Second thing, during Corona, China has become so much unpopularized. Because of that, other countries will also follow suit. We have some countries like Taiwan, etc., who can substitute goods for with at same competitive prices, but in a lesser quantities. So we have to source from different countries, small countries, in a basket. Our import basket should be diversified, meaning that we should get import from so many countries. Over dependence on a single source is always a problem. Thus, if we initiate a trade war, in course of time, if not immediately, it will go in favor of India. We import consumer durables such as electronic goods, smartphones, industrial goods, vehicles, solar cells, essential pharmaceuticals, including bulk drugs, etc., from China in a big way. Now let us see the figures. Electronic equipment, China catered to 60% of the electronic equipment. Top 4 selling brands in India belong to China, and they consist of 60% of our mobile market. Automobile components 30%, toy industry 90%, bulk drugs, two-thirds of the bulk drugs are coming from China. APIs means active pharma ingredients. That means they are raw material for the drugs. That is also imported from China. For antibiotics, we take 90% of the imports from China. So that is the dependency. That is the level of dependency. Now, people are asking, why should not the government ban? Instead of asking public to boycott. In times of globalization, it is difficult because India and China both are members of the WTO, World Trade Organization. World Trade Organization rules do not permit blanket ban on products from a country by another country. So we cannot impose a blanket ban on China's goods. It should be, free trade should be there. We end up paying very high amounts for that. Now, let us also see whether this is a unique phenomenon, first time boycotting is a first attempt or any other attempt. Internationally, so many attempts were made to boycott goods from other countries, like US against France, Arab nations against US and Israel, China itself against Japan. Most of them have failed, except one. Japan is not importing from US. This kind of boycotting of Indian boycotting is successful. So people are skeptical about the success of this. Initially, people may say, yes, we will boycott, but they may be lured by cheap imports in course of time. But this should not dilute our efforts. Let us take one step at a time. Develop alternative products for China which compete in value, cost and quality. For this, we have to step up the research and development expenditure. Secondly, the government must lower the rates of interest at which loans are being given to Indian companies, just like China. Some efforts are already initiated with the COVID economic package. They should be made going full steam. In addition to this, the government must provide infrastructure to the to prepare Indian goods competitive with other countries. FDI, foreign direct investment, should also be liberalized. Again, we have to diversify our import basket. Instead of depending on China, we can import from friendly countries. All these steps collectively could take us closer to self-reliance. Second thing, boycott Chinese products already mentioned may be hit by some people may be hit by this such boycott. Now, we have already discussed one point. Our traders who are selling small, cheap products worth less than 200, less than 100, toys, etc., which are imported from, they may suffer. But the trade body, Confederation of All India Traders Association, CAIT, has called for boycotting of China's goods, and they have identified 450 categories consisting of 300 goods, commodities. KATE is showing the way. They are showing the way how should we boycott this. KATE consists of 7 lakh members with 40,000 merchant organizations. Confederation is a federation. It's a federation of trade bodies. KATE is nothing but a federation of trade bodies. Now, KATE has requested the government to provide all kind of assistance to SMEs, small and medium enterprises, startups and other entrepreneurs. The main aim of this exercise is to reduce import of Chinese products, $13 billion. See, the aim is to reduce import of finished goods by $13 billion, which works out to nearly 1 lakh crore by December 2021. It's a long time frame. Immediately, we cannot do anything about it. Currently, the import from China is about 5.25 lakh crores, $70 billion annually. This is being done in a phased manner. First of all, KATE has selected 450 broad category items consisting of 3,000 that are made indigenously also. India is also manufacturing all these 3,000 goods. So we can easily substitute them. Chinese quality is also not superior. It is also more or less equal, but only cost competitive. Now, first of all, we should hit on these 3,000 products which are also being manufactured in India by stop importing them from China. Second thing, there are number of items in India which are manufactured by foreign companies based in India, but some of the critical components are from China. We can accept that because the hit on China, there is a hit on China. Entire profit is not going to China. So that is also okay unless we develop our capacities. Further, there are some items in India which are not manufactured in India, which we have to initially depend. We have to develop capacities. But here we should understand a success story. The success story is, at the time of COVID, we were not manufacturing even a single PPE kit a day. Now, our PPE kit production has touched 3 lakhs per day. That is really great achievement. We are rising to the occasion. We can rise to the occasion. Further, these 3,000 items, they do not require much sophisticated technology. Indigenous technology available is sufficient. Unless there is an alternative, technology is developed of manufacturing friendly nations. See, in some cases, we are not able to, our technology is not sufficient, it's not matching with the required standards. So we can import them until that goods are not manufactured. Now, KATE has advised all its traders to segregate China products, keep them in a separate rack. In that case, what happens when you go there? You try to, these Chinese goods are segregated. They say these are Chinese goods. Indian alternatives are also available, so that if you want, you can purchase. There is a psychological pressure and of patriotism to lure the consumer to some goods. Okay. Now, affordable Chinese imports, most of which are priced below 2,000, these traders may have to go with them for some more time, way forward. So, It does not mean that we should throw our mobiles, TVs, etc. outside because you have acquired them with your hard earned money in a legal manner. Legitimate, you have a legitimate right to use them. You can, in future, you can stop buying them. Until suitable Indian substitute is available, you may purchase from a friendly neighbor. Even if the brands you are purchasing from the other neighbors contain components made from China, also there is no problem because entire profit is not going there. Government should encourage technical education, imparting technical skills to students as a part of curriculum. Entrepreneurs should be encouraged. You may not be able to hurt China's 10%, but it gives a substantial damage to China, and China will fall in line. Friends, now the point is we should stop using Chinese products. We should initiate the process of not using Chinese products. It may take some time, doesn't matter. Better late than never. So please stop purchasing Chinese goods wherever alternatives are available. Indigenous production, prefer Indian goods. Second, if Indian substitute goods are also not available, buy from a friendly neighboring country. Thirdly, even if they include any components manufactured by China also, doesn't matter because the entire profit is not going to them. Thus, if we move very strategically, we will definitely be able to hit the China and develop our indigenous product, Atmanirbharat, and make in India. Vocal for local. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best to India. Thank you very much. Bye. Please subscribe and watch my videos. Please subscribe my channel. Watch my videos also. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching once again.